Welcome to autumn in the Netherlands. It is time to get indoors and do some crafting because outside the weather is rainy and grey skies are taking over. Also, the trees are getting more bare by the minute and the weather is getting cold. So let's get inside. Hi, Maud here, and I thought I would show up on camera this time and to show you that I've changed up my craft room a little bit. I've now got my wonderful, there it is, my wonderful little sewing machine right at the back of me so I can work at it whenever I like. I've changed my table up. I've got a little bit of a smaller craft table, but it's totally workable. And I have my papers next to me to work with. And I've got something to show you. I made a planner, an agenda for 2023. And the inspiration for this came from my own letters. Do you remember the stories I told you about Mr. Barry, Aldegonde, Wilhelmina, and the people around them? They're all in this planner. And I'm going to flip the camera around now and give you a tour through this planner for 2023. And if you want to make something like this, I have a video in which I made this junk journal. I will link it down below. And I made this planner in completely the same way that I did this one, so I did not make a new video about that. But let me turn the camera around and you can see my hands and also see a flip through. So as you can see, it is a large journal if you compare it to my hands. And it is 30 centimeters tall and about 17 centimeters wide. Or am I doing this wrong? No, it is about 17 and a half. And I need my glasses. And what I did is use all the ideas that I came up with about the forest and also my forest walk from last week. I will link that video down below as well. It inspired me to work on this. And let me just put the cover open like this. So do you remember that shot that I made of the tree trunk with all the leaves underneath? Well, that is this. And the strange Mr. Barry that I invented, you know, he hung clocks in the forest and he has all these keys that he saved, and well, all these images I tried to put on here and I overdid it a little bit. So I changed it up a couple of times and I'm really happy with it now. I have these leaves that I dyed myself with acrylic paint and acrylic inks, and also the background here is done with acrylic paint. If you saw my videos of slow stitching, I will also link those down below. That's how I did these forest floors with slow stitching. This is an embroidery that I got in the thrift store, as well as this one. And I'll insert a little video of how I started this journal. And the cover is from a book that says Een jaar in het bos, which means a year in the forest. So it was absolutely fitting for this planner. So this is what I started out with. I did these well-constructed fabrics a long time ago, I think about a month, and I stopped working with it, but now I got it all back and I was inspired. And here you see the covers where it says een jaar in het bos, a year in the forest. And I had already put holes in it to start another project. But it was so fitting for what I wanted to do, a large planner. I had all my letters that I invented myself and photographs. I need them for inspiration. All the characters that, I came to love them, and I still am reading these letters from time to time and get inspired all over again. Sometimes that is what your imagination can do. You can invent things and inspire yourself. So I'll put these aside and show you the papers that I'm using for this journal. I'm using all kinds of original papers. I have hoarded a lot of papers over the years. And these were sent to me from my friends. Hello guys. And also I bought them and I found them, some of them in the thrift store, but most of them come from England or France or the United States, and also some Dutch old papers and Danish papers. I'm using this weekly planner to give myself an idea of what I wanted to do. This paper is not going to make it into the journal, it's too modern, but I can put like a weekly planner on pages like this, and I like that the journal will be just as tall as the original paper, so I don't have to cut off anything of the height of the paper. And well, these are things that I found in the thrift store, sometimes 60 cents, sometimes 50 cents. These are real cheap papers, they're not that vintage, but they are ledgers, and I really like ledgers, don't we all? I also have some odd papers, like this is from a hobby academy. It's like a test paper, and I really like these things. This is just an old writing block. This report block is really funny because the paper is so thin, and you will see in the flip through that it works so beautifully. And this flow booklet is something that I probably have saved for over a decade, and I'm finally going to use it. It is slightly smaller than the covers, but that's totally fine. That will make up for the feeling of a junk journal. Also, these papers are quite funny, and I decided not to work with inks or tea dyes, just use the papers as they are. So let's stop this flipping through of papers that I use, and let's go back to the flip through of the agenda. And let's dive inside. I've used papers from Stamperia. I've used a book about elves and gnomes that my friend Annemiek, hi sweetie, she sent this to me, and I really loved this page, like it's a door into the new year. And do you remember on the video those rays of light that I saw in the forest? Well, I mimicked them with just some strands of silver, what is it, knitting yarn. But anyway, I could play with this all day, but I won't. So the door into the new year. And what I did is use up, not everything, but I did use real vintage papers. There's not a digital in here. It's just original papers and really old papers. And I thought, let's not hoard them anymore. Let's just start to use them. And I've numbered the weeks, I put in the months and all the dates. Everything in pencil, because, well, this old paper, sometimes if I use a fountain pen on there, it will bleed, and I don't want that. So let me just quietly flip through here, and some things to point out. This paper is so thin that it is rather see-through, so I can still see the text underneath. It doesn't show up on camera that well, although you can see it. And I really love this effect. And also here, you can still see the fairy through the paper, and I really like it. And what I intend to do is every week do a page inside this planner. I mean, well, on this I probably can't do much, but on the other hand, it might inspire me to do a border here and do something special here. And obviously other pages are easier to work on, like this one. And probably like this one, I will probably not do much. But then on the other hand, I can flip this up because, well, this wasn't going to be enough for a whole week. But I could do something on here, or I will come up with something to work on these pages throughout the year. Let me just put some music on and do a flip through for you. So this is the whole year, and I did leave room for this journal to grow because it has to if I want to embellish the pages even more. And well, this was my video for this week, and I hope to be back next week again. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to stick around, please subscribe. It would help out my channel a lot. Like this video, and I will read all the comments, and I enjoy reading what you have to say. Bye bye for now.